You don't enter the world into peace or warmth or anything remotely close to fairness. You enter it into a house divided against itself, a house stitched together by jealousy and domestic wars no one admits out loud. You are child number 11, but child number 1 to the only woman your father ever truly loved. And that alone is a curse more dangerous than hunger. You grow into your childhood, watching eyes that don't soften when they meet yours. Brothers whose laughter stops whenever you walk into the room. A family where favoritism sits at the table like a silent guest everyone tries not to look at, except your father, who gazes at you with a glow that burns bridges behind your back. He gives you a robe. Not brown like theirs, not dull like theirs, not cheap like theirs. A robe with colors that dance even in low light, a stitched declaration that you are loved differently, loved more, loved openly. The moment the robe hits your shoulders, the house stops being a home. It becomes a battlefield. You're too young to understand the weight of a gift. You're too innocent to see the storm build in their eyes. You're too hopeful to realize the robe is not a sign of blessing, but a target painted on your back. Meals become quiet. Conversations shrink when you enter the room. You feel hostility before you have a word for it. You feel the distance before you understand why. Your father tells you dreams are messages. So when the dreams start, you tell him. You tell all of them. Dreams of wheat bowing to you. Dreams of stars bending low. Dreams you did not ask for, but cannot avoid. Your brother's faces harden, slow, sharp, deadly. Your father looks disturbed, even shaken, but he still keeps you close. He doesn't see the poison threading through the house. You do. You feel it in the air, in the way they watch you, in the way they whisper, in the way their hands tighten around tools that suddenly look like weapons. Still, you believe family means safety. Family means love. Family means protection. You believe wrong. One morning, your father sends you out to check on your brothers in the fields of Shechem. He says it with affection. He doesn't know he is sending you into a trap. He doesn't know he is sending you into the moment your childhood will end. You walk miles under the sun, convinced you're doing the right thing, convinced responsibility earns love. You rehearse what you'll tell them. You rehearse how you'll stand tall like your father. You rehearse the smile you hope they'll return. You reach them with dust on your sandals and hope in your chest. But when they see you, their faces do not soften. They tighten, like jaws around prey. Here comes the dreamer, one mutters. The others stare as if they've been waiting for this exact moment. You approach with an open heart. They approach with closed fists. The attack is sudden. Hands grab you, feet kick, voices hiss. You barely recognize their faces, how hatred distorts people you once tried to love. They tear off your robe. The colors you cherished scatter into dust. What they tear from your body, they also tear from your identity. The symbol of love, the last protection you had. You scream their names. You beg. You claw at the earth. But brothers with dead eyes don't hear human words. They only hear the sound of their own bitterness finally taking form. They drag you to a pit, a dry well, a silent grave. They throw you in. Your fall is brief, but the impact is long. The dust rises around you like a shroud. You look up, expecting relief, remorse, hesitation. What you see instead is their silhouettes against the light. Not looking down in regret. Looking down like judges. You cry. Your voice echoes. The walls of the pit push your despair back into your chest. Above you, your brothers sit down for lunch, your agony feeding their appetite. Then you hear it. A rope dropping down. Hope. A miracle. But when they pull you out, the miracle is only a prelude to a new nightmare. They sell you to Ishmaelites for silver. The same silver that will one day betray another son of Israel. You are 16, stripped of your home, your name, your status. You are chained, dragged, priced, evaluated like livestock. Your brothers walk away with coins jingling in their pockets and dust clinging to their sandals. You walk away with nothing but disbelief. You don't know your father is tearing his clothes miles away. You don't know he is weeping over a blood-soaked robe, believing you are gone forever. You only know the sound of metal chains clinking against your wrists. Egypt rises before you, like a monster made of stone and golden teeth. Its language cuts like knives. Its gods stare like cold, carved eyes. Its people do not care who you used to be. Potiphar buys you, not your story, not your pain, just your strength. You work. You work until your hands ache and your back cries, and your voice no longer remembers the sound of laughter. You learn Egyptian customs. You learn Egyptian schedules. You learn silence is safety and excellence is survival. Potiphar sees your diligence and favors you. You rise in the house. You manage affairs. You manage servants. You begin to believe that maybe suffering has seasons. Maybe pain ends. Maybe life will balance itself. But pain always circles back. Potiphar's wife notices you. Her eyes linger too long. Her words trap you like a snare. Her touch is a threat disguised as affection. You refuse her. Once, twice, 10 times. She doesn't hear refusal. She hears challenge. One day, she grabs you. You run, leaving your garment in her hands. She screams. She lies. Her voice trembles with false fear. Potiphar returns home to Accusation. He looks at you, hurt, betrayed, confused. He doesn't kill you, though he could. Instead, he throws you into prison. Prison is a grave with doors. Dark, cold, silent, hopeless. You sleep on stone. Your fingers grow numb. Your dreams grow quieter. Your hope grows thin. You help prisoners. You interpret dreams for men who forget you the moment freedom touches their skin. One man promises to remember you. He doesn't. 2 years pass. Long years. Crushing years. Years where your faith hangs by a thread you can barely feel. Then Pharaoh dreams, and the man who forgot you suddenly remembers you. You are dragged from prison, shaved, washed, dressed, rushed into a palace where sunlight hurts your eyes. Pharaoh demands answers. You give them, not from schooling, not from privilege, but from a gift that survived every pit you fell into. You interpret, you warn, you advise. The king is impressed. He elevates you. He crowns you with authority second only to his own. You stand in new robes, ones made not by a father, but by a nation. You ride in chariots that outrun the ones that dragged you away. You speak in a tongue that once imprisoned your voice. But inside, you are still the boy whose family chose silver over blood. Then famine strikes, not just Egypt, your homeland, your brothers, your father. One day, men come to you, tired, dusty, desperate. You know their faces instantly. They don't know yours. And then it happens. They bow, just like the dream that started everything, the dream that cost you your youth. You feel your chest tighten. You excuse yourself. You walk into another room and weep so hard your servants stare at the walls in terror. You test them, not out of cruelty, but out of wounded memory, out of fear that betrayal runs in their blood, out of desire to understand whether they have changed. You see Benjamin. Your whole body trembles. He is innocent, the only brother who never hated you, the only one whose voice you never feared. When you see your father's grief woven into your brother's faces, grief caused by your supposed death, you break. You reveal yourself. I am Joseph. They collapse in fear. You collapse in tears. You forgive them, though forgiveness cuts deeper than hate ever did. You bring your family to Egypt. You give them land. You give them home. You give them everything you never received from them. Your father sees you again before he dies. His hands touch your face like he's memorizing it for the afterlife. But even in restoration, sorrow lingers. You missed years with him, years stolen by a pit, a rope, a caravan, a lie. Benjamin grows under your protection, but you can never replace the childhood you lost. Your brothers respect you, but they never undo the wound they carved into your destiny. And after your father dies, they fear you again. They beg for mercy again. They tremble again. Pain repeats in cycles. You reassure them. What you meant for evil, God meant for good. True, but meaning does not erase memory. Purpose does not erase pain. Destiny does not erase damage. You live, succeed, flourish, rule. You save nations from famine. You carry wisdom like a shield. You carry grief like a shadow. When you finally die, you ask for one thing. Don't leave my bones in Egypt, because even after decades of glory, part of you still lives in the pit. Part of you still lies on the ground with brothers standing above you. Part of you still reaches for a father whose arms never closed around you again in time. Part of you still dreams of wheat bowing down, not in triumph, but in mourning. That is why it sucks to be Joseph. Not because he was weak, not because he was foolish, not because he lacked faith, but because sometimes being chosen means being broken first. Sometimes greatness is carved with knives. Sometimes destiny drags you through pits, prisons, lies, betrayal, loss, heartbreak, and isolation before it crowns you. Joseph rose high, but he rose from depths no child should ever know. And that is why it sucks to be Joseph. Drop your thoughts in the comment section.